Bro, what is it in the cat DNA, the sum total of the feline genome project, that compels them to throw up on rugs, mats, carpets, etc.? Like 70% of our house is either tile or hardwood. Cat throws up on the hardwood, throws up on the tile, no problem. Why am I coming down to dried vomit stains on the Peloton mat, on the rug under my office chair? Last night, Ruka ate, he was meowing because he was hungry. We fed him wet food. He ate it all in 3 seconds and then silently yacked it onto like a rug in our living room. And the little chicken flakes get stuck in the microfibers. It's madness, dude. There was wood floor like 6 inches away from where you threw up. Perfect bit. I just cleaned up my cat's puke from the wooden floor. Man, fuck you, dude. Why are your cats so fucking smart? Considering they throw up so much, my cats are like ass at picking a good spot to throw up. It's maddening. Nice average watts on the Tokyo ride, 212. Thank you. I wasn't feeling like I PB'd like 2 days ago. I took a recovery ride yesterday, maybe like 190 watts or something like that. Today I was like, is it going to be a recovery ride? Is it going to be a PB? Turns out it was something a little bit in between, but not bad. Not bad. Wake Up Honey, new crab-based Souls-like just came out. This is another Crab's Treasure. Came out this morning. If you're watching on YouTube, probably like 2 days ago, because it's Thursday. I normally don't get time Thursday night in order to put the videos up by Friday, so it'll probably end up on Saturday if I had to guess. It's from Aggro Craig. I said, only 90s kids will get this. It's from Aggro Crab Games. You may remember Going Under. I believe it came out 2020, 2021, somewhere in there. A biting satire skewering 2020's startup Silicon Valley Bay Area culture with a dungeon-crawling roguelike veneer over top of it. This is their follow-up. It's a Souls-like. It's getting good reviews from established outlets, and I'm excited to finally play it. Game's too loud? Yes, that's correct. My mistake. I can't turn it down yet.
What word comes to mind when you think of the Earth? For some, that word might be
blue.
Beautiful. Others might say the world is hateful or evil or unstable or full of shit. But above all else, the word that best describes our world is resilient. Against the odds, time and time again, creatures adapt to make the most of their given environment. Some learn to feed on others, stealing their vitality for their own.
I'm just joking.
Some become scavengers, living off what strangers leave behind. And others still, as we will soon see, would prefer to be simply left
seamless
alone.
Transition. r/TV tropes late credits drop. Okay, now that the initial cutscene is done, I believe I'm going to alt tab for a second and turn it down so I can talk over it because I'm a narcissist.
Go away! No one's home!
Sir, please open up.
How's that?
Oh, you're not a bird.
Sir, are you the owner of this residence?
You mean my shell? Yeah, it's mine. Do you like it?
I represent the Royal Duchy of Slacktide, which has recently annexed the territory surrounding and including this tide pool.
It's not a real shark, I'm realizing.
I
think it's just a kid with a bubble wand or something.
Upwards of 10 tides. If you are presently unable to pay this balance, the duchy will claim you home until you...
What? You can't hear me?
I've got some questions. First of all, what's a duchy? Also, taxes?
Okay, so basically, the Duchess of Slacktide owns this whole area now. And she puts a lot of effort into keeping it safe. So, everyone who benefits from that has to abide by her rules and pay.
Yo, is it? I'm reading between the lines. I'm media literate, unlike most people these days. This is Libertarian Aggro Crab. Libertarian Dark Souls. We are going to kill the final boss of the Beaches IRS and free the shoals from the tyranny of Forced taxation, guaranteed. I can smell it coming already. Hey, I know this isn't much, but what the shell is this? They're hard kelp pods. We're Costco guys. Of course we use hard kelp pods. Don't tell me you don't even like hard kelp. I hope you're joking. No one uses these dumb things as money anymore. The ocean's moved to the trash standard. I knew it, Libertarian Dark Souls! Nobody uses fiat kelp anymore. We're all on boat coin. Change the system? Nah, bro. I'm going to thrive within the existing system and not ask any questions about it. Are you crazy? I just walked over here. You want your shell back? You better get a job and pay up. I hear they're always hiring in the reef. The reef, isn't it super busy there? I don't want to talk to people. Again, really not my problem. I don't care where you get the trash from. I'm keeping this until you do. See you later. It can't be the IRS, because the IRS does care where you get the trash from. That's how they got Al Capone, bro. I think. I don't know. Cut the Librarians F3 video. Did you like the hockey pucks I sent a while back? Those are still in our house. They survived the move, which is the greatest compliment that I could give to something I received in the mail. I also saw, Librarian, you got to be careful. Why are you beefing with every NHL fan base on Twitter simultaneously? You don't even watch hockey. You're just like, people are tweeting like overly serious stuff about sports, and then you're in the mentions like just edging them on. I guess egging them on. Edging them on is more like an Anne Hathaway type thing. Why you trolling, bro? These people are gonna get their feelings hurt. So seeing all this litter in the ocean, you know, it's very sobering. There's an institution in Vancouver called TELUS World of Science, and it shows, like, they build artistic sculptures out of garbage that has been pulled from the ocean, right? I gotta say, I don't think this is the lesson they're trying to teach me, but I love going to the sculptures and then looking at all the plastic products that they pulled out of the ocean and being like, yeah, I don't use any of those. Man, whoever's eating all this Danone fruit on the bottom yogurt is really dropping the ball, but me personally, like, that's not my tempo. I think it's teaching me the wrong lesson. Like, sorry, I'm just being real with you. I've never used a tampon. So you're gonna put those tampons on display and be like, oh, we gotta stop putting this stuff in the ocean. Bro, I don't even know what they look like, to be honest with you. I assume it's some kind of tube. And then there's like it's like a rocket. There's like the initial phase 1 engines, and then like they enter phase 2 and they eject the engines, and then there's just the command module left. I don't touch that stuff. Now, when you see a bunch of AAA batteries in the ocean, yeah, okay. What do you want me to do? My kid has some electronic toys. By the way, I'm so sorry. I didn't read that. Somebody please tell me the cliff notes of what Bloodstar limbs do, because hang on one moment, please. There we go. I finished the bit, and then I said, I'm done with the bit. That means I can press the I'm done button. Press and hold L1 to hide inside your shell. Wearing a shell reduces damage taken. Hiding in it will divert all damage to your shell health. A shield? Not necessary.
Claws off, lawbreaker!
Voiced enemy?
Oh, crap. I'm sorry. Was I supposed to grab a ticket?
You think yourself above the law? But
Only at the
law
self-checkout.
is not so easily outwitted. By its strength alone do we rise above the beasts.
I'm really sorry. I'll go to the back of the line, okay?
You should be so lucky. I'll have your head like I have these other worthless law breakers.
It is Foghorn Leghorn.
Boy, I say boy, I understand you've been enjoying this fight, but this ain't no game, boy. That no-good fella Freezer just killed your best friend. Now it's time to quit playing around, I say playing around, and show that dirty villain what happens to folks who take life for granted.
I said, you can't be gooning like that, son. Boy, it sounds like you're frying chicken in there. You gotta use some lubricant. You're gonna whack your shit dry, lad. Hey, okay. I understand. Have I let him recover? I let his stam recover, didn't I? Okay, you've almost... My shell has been broken and you've almost killed me. Okay, you've killed me for real this time. We'll come back next time.
You dare raise your blade against the law!
Okay, I'm dead, bro! You don't have to keep taunting me. I died. Hold. Still feeling good. Now we need to get in there. Because he's getting his poise back, bro.
Raise your blade against the law!
He's almost done. Hold. That was an aggro attack. I think I got lucky. You're basically dead, and I'm the best person to ever play this game. Mess with this corpse. I didn't even want to kill you. I just want to go inside the castle. I just want my house back. You're forcing me to a life of violence. That was self-defense, right? That's what I'm saying, dude. If anyone asks, he just tripped and broke his leg and landed on a sword. He didn't do anything wrong. You got nothing to apologize for, brother. And she's kissing a crab. Now she's having a smoke, and I'm eating a crab. I see what you're saying. Now I'm eating a crab, and my stomach is sick. And my stomach is sick because I'm eating a crab. Great song, Mr. Crab Eyes, I believe. I just got an ad break that was 6 unskippable ads that were 45 seconds to 2 minutes long each. The streamer pretending to be on the same side as the viewer. That sucks. That sucks, man. I don't know why they would do that. I don't know why they would do that messed up thing. That's crazy. They shouldn't be doing all that. That's too much. They're doing too much, man. That does suck. I mean, that's a closed tab moment for me. I'm flattered you're still here. I want to sub, but I'm unemployed. You should save your money. I mean, honestly, they're gonna hate me for saying this. I guess this doesn't really apply, because if you're watching, like, you're here. And if you're not watching, you won't hear it. But I'm like, just thinking about it yesterday, like all the inactive accounts getting unsubbed when Twitch changed payment processors. I was like, if you are like, I don't want to be subbed to this guy anymore, you're just watching me out of inertia, but you don't want to spend $60 in the next year mindlessly, just click go. I think you can click subscribe, and then there's like a button that's like turn off auto renew or something like that. It'll save you some money. I don't want to take your money under duress. I prefer if you kept it, but at the same time, if you're like, oh, I've been meaning to do that, like, let this be a little kick in the butt for you. Just don't let me catch you canceling your auto-renewing subscription and then giving, like, 20 gift subs to a streamer just to contribute to their hype train. That's all I'm saying, okay? Hey, Rex Mechanica, by the way, thank you for the gifted subscriptions. Thank you, thank you. And an anonymous gifter, thank you as well. Thank you. Me writing my tell-all book about the strategies to make you a successful streamer. Hello. Literally tell them not to give you money. It's one of the best ways to get them to give you money. A sharp corroded blade more fit for an insect than a crab. +4 attack, -3 umami. What is it? Oh, I was going to say, what is MSG? Then I said it out loud, and I was like, monosodium glutamate, bro. The captain lives again. I know that they're the same lobster. I'm just going to say it. Red lobster tastes better than blue lobster. When I saw the blue lobster, I'm like, this guy doesn't even look yummy, bro. This guy looks pretty yummy. This is just a me personally thing. I think lobster tastes good. But I do also simultaneously think that it's one of the most overrated foods on the planet. I think that it was glazed for me. It was marinated in advance of me starting to eat lobster. Because everybody was like, it's the greatest food on the planet. The only downside is that it's expensive. Every once in a while, I've been known to find myself on a cruise ship. Well, you broke that real quick. So you've already paid for the food. Whatever you order for dinner, like, is already included in the cost of the ticket, right? So you have you could be like, well, I'm gonna get like the marinated chicken breast or something like that. But if they got lobster on the menu, you're like, I already paid for it. I might as well have the lobster. You have a few lobster tails, and you're kind of like, maybe this isn't as good as I've been led to believe. Like there were some times when I was like, you know, I'll just take the pork chop, honestly. I see that there's lobster. It's the same thing like I always see it at the buffet, man. Everybody, and by everybody, I mean everybody that is like 42 years old or older. For lunch, they're like, I'm just getting an enormous plate of crab legs and shrimp. And don't get me wrong, I'm pro crab, as you can see. I'm pro shrimp as well, but like, you're missing out on some of the prepared dishes, bro. You're missing out on the curries. You're missing out on the soups and stews. Just eating raw crab all day. It's not bad necessarily, but I think you're economics maxing instead of flavor maxing. That's my 2 cents at least. I'm not anti-lobster, by the way. I'm just like, I think if you're paying at a restaurant, maybe I'd get the lobster. If I'm paying, I'd probably get like some kind of, maybe like a bass, if they've got it. An Arctic char. It's actually crazy, like, how much snot the human body can produce. Like, if I had to guess, I probably consumed 1.6 liters of fluid today. Where is all the snot coming from? Because they're using some of that water to, like, make my body work. So, like, where the fuck is all the moisture coming from to make the mucus, dude? It doesn't make sense. It's like my body's producing its own water. Maybe I don't need to drink water ever again. Maybe all the doctors are lying to us. Maybe it's all a scam, bro, to sell Aquafina. Life hack. You do not need to drink water. I'll become one of those guys who gets really offended when someone says drink water. You may not know that actually, like, food has water in it too. If you eat, like, 6 ounces of potato chips, you get 10 milliliters of water. Ask anybody who's had kidney stones what they think about drinking water. I mean, I'm not saying I'm never going to get kidney stones. That kind of hubris is punished. It's one of those things you can't make a joke about because I'm sure if you get it, it's nightmarish. If you drink like 1 soda a day, people are like, aren't you worried about kidney stones? And I'm like, no, bro. I mean, I drink like a liter of water a day before 7:30 a.m. Like, I'm sure, if anything, I piss too much. Like, it's clear almost every single time. It's clear when I wake up. No disrespect, but like, I'm sure kidney stones can happen for a variety of reasons. Sometimes people are like, I quit soda after I got kidney stones. And I'm like, how much soda were you drinking? They're like 2 liters a day. I'm like, well, no disrespect, we're not on that same lifestyle, bro. Like 2 liters a day. Maybe if I'm like 11 years old at my friend's birthday party and it's a sleepover or something like that. 1 soda a day is insane, though. Is actually like possibly the most normal amount of soda to have a day. It might even be more normal than 0. It's insane, is what you just said to me. That's North American cope? Okay, well, don't make me start talking about red wine, bro. Soda's bad for you. Yeah, me and my wife split a bottle of red wine at dinner every night. But Coke Zero, what, 355 milliliters of Coke Zero, though? That's crazy. That's insane. No. One study published in 1979 said that 1 glass of red wine every day, it was a sample size of 4, could actually have like vasodilating effects. Every other study since then, done by real scientists, has contradicted it, but that's why I have like a half a bottle to a bottle a day. You really got that person you made up? I didn't make them up. It's a continent called Europe. You should go to geography class. Also, I'm not taking any life advice from Twitch chat. Obviously, you've made mistakes in your life, otherwise you wouldn't be here. It's like not even noon. It's 10:30 a.m. on a Thursday. And you're giving me life advice? I'm at work, bro. What are you doing? You're going to tell me 1 soda a day is problematic. Jeez, I don't want to know, man. I'm not even going to ask. I've got the day off? Yeah, okay. Let me guess, you got tomorrow off too. No disrespect. And the next day. And then the next day. I go to the dentist once a month. That's insanity. That's way more insane than having 1 soda. I mean, I'm being real with you. They sell sodas in packs of 24. You really think people are buying that and they're like, a year's supply of root beer? What are you talking about, man? You know what's crazy is that it's the same chatters. Well, there's a few shit disturbers on the side too, and I respect that. Just like, you know, when 2 people start fighting, it's the people that form a circle and start waving their fists. That's me. I think that's me. Whenever I talk about, like, you should eat vegetables, there's a few people in chat who are like, you wouldn't understand. I'm part of the 0.01% of the population that has a genetic mutation that makes all vegetables taste like poison to me. You're actually, it's a problematic take to suggest that you should eat vegetables. And then I'm talking about having 2 Coke Zeros a day. And they're like, oh, you should never do that. Brother, what are you talking about? Doesn't make any, what are you eating? Inevitably, it's always like 9 protein bars a day or something like that. I'm into natural foods. I'm not into like artificial foods. I got a 1 bar. I've got a Carb Smart protein bar. I got a Nature Valley Sweet and Salty. I've got a Dr. Robert Irving's Protein Crunch bar. Why do you know all these protein bars? Because my mom drinks them. Actually, like, or eats them, I should say. But my mom, whenever she comes to visit us, like a month before she visits, she always sends us like a care package. Like the same way NASA, if we ever like colonize Mars, the same way NASA would send up like a bunch of stuff before the astronauts get there so that Mark Watney can grow potatoes in his own dung. Like that's what, she's basically terraforming our guest room. And it's nice, don't get me wrong. But whenever I see what's in the care package, it is like inevitably 64 protein bars. And she's a protein bar sommelier. Like there's 3 or 4 different variants in there. And it depends on like what she's into, how her macros are for that day, but also what was on sale at Shoppers Drug Mart, because sometimes you can get some pretty good deals if you're paying attention to the flyers. I also told you my parents are in that phase now, and I don't know if it's a phase or it's just them. But like after dinner, they have a protein bar for dessert, which is like, for me, is... Like my parents raised me in the 90s, and now I'm 90s maxing. I'm having like a cookie for dessert, and they're having a protein bar. Like they're living out here in like 2040 or something like that. And she's calling a cab. She does call it, that's actually, like I know you're talking about Mr. Brightside. She does not use rideshare. She still uses it's not like on ethics or morals, it's just she's more comfortable with the taxis because she's used them her whole life. Then one time, this is probably like a year and a half ago, one time she called a taxi to pick her up from our house to take her to the airport. Taxi driver legit got out holding a soft serve McDonald's ice cream cone. And then she's like, I have these bags I need to load in the trunk. And he said, no problem, I'll do it. And he handed her the ice cream cone to hold while he loaded the suitcases into the trunk. Relax, I'll handle it. I'm not saying he shouldn't be able to eat, it's just a funny story. That's 90s maxing? That's what I'm saying. 90s maxing? I honestly think you should be able to have 3 treats a day. What is a treat? A treat is 1 to 2 cookies, handful of potato chips, can of soda. I think you should be able to have 3 treats a day. I think 3 is too much. You can die sadder than me. I'll die with a full belly. 6 cookies a day? Yeah, 6 cookies a day with no sodas, no chips. Yeah, you can have 6 cookies. I'm not talking about 6 grocery store, Whole Foods, like Subway 300-calorie cookies. I'm talking about like, you know, a Chips Ahoy or something like that. I feel like, again, I'm not trying to change your philosophy. I'm just explaining my own philosophy. You are going to die someday. So I'm not suggesting that you should engage in self-destructive habits. All I'm going to say is that maybe with that knowledge in mind, it might change some of your behavioral patterns, because you might be like, knowing I'm not going to live forever, maybe I could engage with some fun stuff that is relatively harmless for me in moderation, and I might find myself having a richer quality of life as a result. Or maybe you enjoy restricting yourself, and I mean that genuinely. There's people who dig that lifestyle too. I didn't say live young, die hard, okay? I didn't say live hard, die young either. I'm just saying, like, I mean, we're in a weird world where I have become, like, at least on the internet, I've become like a relic of a previous time where I'm like, it's okay to drink a couple diet sodas a day, but don't do ketamine. And then all the 19-year-olds in chat are like, are you crazy? Soda is poison, ketamine is medicine. True, I guess, if a doctor prescribes it to you and you're not like buying it off the dark web or something, but I'm just providing a set of behaviors that represent perhaps a bygone era, 2007. Now, I'm not saying we should go back. There's lots of stuff I'm glad we've left behind from that era, but like, stop like condescending to people because they're eating like a 200-calorie cookie instead of a 450-calorie acai bowl, you know? Haven't we learned our lesson yet, man? Like, human beings were fixers, right? Like, we have savior syndrome. Try to get involved in everything. Now we're like, oh, we got to save the oceans. There's too much plastic. Bro, they're like capable individuals. I'm sure they'll figure it out. We get involved, we'll probably just mess it up even more than it's already messed up. Maybe they could fix it because trout actually entered their stone age like 2 years ago. Is that true? They're making like tools and stuff out of rocks? One of the things, like, it's crazy to think about is that, like, in general, the way that I look at animals is that all animals, they, in the evolutionary record, they get fitter by changing their traits. They get bigger, or they get smaller, or more cold resistant, or more heat resistant, or 2% more efficient metabolically speaking. But like human beings, I mean, we're basic because evolution works so slowly. We're working with like the same hardware, basically, functionally speaking, that like our caveman ancestors were. It's kind of sad for me to think that like cavemen, if they were just born into our environment, I feel like, maybe this is cave-splaining, but I feel like they would have access to a much wider array of complex feelings and thoughts and emotions because they're like born on the foundations of what has been done before over like the previous 100,000 years of humans' progress, right? Like, there's some cavemen who, if they happen to not be born in like the year negative 32,000, if they were born in like 1990, they could be like Olivia Rodrigo too. But instead, they're back there in the historical record going, bonk, bonk, bonk. Similarly, there's some fucking idiots alive right now that probably would have been better off as cavemen, dude. Like, some of our intelligence, obviously probably most of it if I had to guess, and I do because I have like no knowledge one way or the other, comes from the processing power of our brain, which is incredible. But also, we get to like access it because of advances in like language and like when you think about it, they didn't really start. This is a crazy take. You know how people say like, I don't watch any movie made like before I was born? When people said that to me and they were my age and it was the year 2000, I was like, that makes sense. Jurassic Park's probably like the first good movie. Now that people who are like 19 years old are saying it now, I'm like, you don't watch anything before 2005? Are you crazy? But anyway, like, they didn't make good art back in the caveman days, man. They only started making good art in like, I don't even know. Year zero is what I'm going to say, like, conservatively. I mean, I'm just saying, have you ever seen a cave painting? It's like, they use like a little dye, and they're like, it's a gazelle. It's a dude and a horse or something like that. That's nothing, bro. That ain't girl with the pearl earring. It's amazing that they made it to begin with. Same thing, bro. Like, you ever read the Canterbury Tales? That's relatively modern in the scope of what I'm talking about, but it doesn't hold a candle to Halo: The Fall of Reach. So obviously, it's like code, right? Like, the computers have gotten more powerful, but if they hadn't, we'd still be making progress because there's like 2 dudes in Idaho that are making middleware that's changed our lives. Chaucer made the middleware. Picasso made the middleware. King Sejong made the middleware. Admiral Yi Sun Shin made the middleware. Tutankhamun made the middleware. Beowulf and Grendel made the middleware, bro. I'm gonna die! I'm dead! I've got another theory as well. Minimum dose of tissues is 2 tissues. 1 tissue doesn't do shit, bro. It's like the same way, like, if you're wiping your ass, you don't take 1 square. You take like 3 squares folded in half. If you're taking 1 square and you're not folding, you're ripping it when you get it down there. If you're taking 1 square and you're folding, you're coming up with a brown hand, okay? You gotta go, minimum is always 2 pieces. You got that rich people TP? Not really. I mean, I have Costco toilet paper. There's gotta be like the oh, I'm dead. Ah! That's gotta be like the everyman's TP, bro. I don't know if there is a more average TP than Kirkland TP. I will say, this is also in the domain of like, you know, if you live in Canada or the US, I'm like, our country is rich. Why can't we have nice things? Why does every public bathroom still have construction paper toilet paper? Like sandpaper, single-ply toilet paper that comes on the steel drum? Like, it's a nice place, bro. The park board can't string for 2-ply. They get like 12% of the municipal budget. They can't have 2-ply toilet paper, which is basically like the minimum level of toilet paper to not hate yourself. It's twice the cost. I literally don't care. Get 2-ply. People steal anything nice. I don't even, like, I'm not stealing it. Put the good stuff in the, it's not even good stuff. It's the minimum level of stuff to not be shit. Like, there's times when if I'm using the public bathroom inside of like a park in Vancouver or something like that, there's times I'm like, with this toilet paper, I might be better off just pulling my shorts up and going wipeless. Not to mention, I mean, there's got to be something to that. Yeah, the worse the toilet paper is, the more you have to use to achieve the same level of comfort. Now, I'm not saying that it comes out in the wash. I'm just saying, like, doesn't it make you like a little spiritually sad that if you live in like one of these 12 countries, maybe like 35 countries, you're basically richer than anybody in human history, the average person at least, could have conceived of? And if a time traveler, a peasant from the Middle Ages, came and saw it, they would be like, what a bountiful life. Time to take a shit. They'd go into the toilet and be like, wait, where's the good toilet paper? You'd be like, oh, we're not allowed to have it because then like people would steal it. You sent a man to the moon, had him do a jaunty little bounce up there, but you can't get toilet paper that's twice as thick because someone might take it from you? Like, it doesn't make any sense, bro. They get back in the time machine. I'm sick of the idea that like we can't have nice things. They invented the nice things, man. They invented them in like 1836. Why on earth in the United States of America, the richest country that's ever existed, you can't have good toilet paper even though it's been invented? It doesn't make any sense, dude. You live in Vancouver, you should know people should steal it. You got me backwards. I know that it's possible people would steal it, but like, sure, people are stealing the shitty stuff anyway. And also, you're not gonna get me to hate my fellow man. I mean, if they're stealing the toilet paper, I'm gonna assume that they need it. Also, like, how much toilet paper is gonna get stolen annually? 10 grand? Amortize it out to the 3 million citizens of Vancouver, brother? Or the Metro Vancouver area, at least? Come on. Also, they must be stealing the garbage anyway, because they already got it locked up in like the lockbox that only has like a little aperture where you can only grab like 1 square at a time. They got it, it's got a key on it, man. So obviously they were stealing the crappy stuff anyway. I just don't think that the aggregate in society should be published just because like some people with poopy buttholes steal the toilet paper. Like okay, some degenerates going around stealing toilet paper straight out of the roll. All of a sudden, I gotta have like a poopy butthole just because you got bad loss prevention? Doesn't make any sense to me. Perry, huge. Buy the other 5 cost. I don't want to spec into that domain. That domain doesn't interest me. I would like to get a pawn shop though. You didn't spend 20 of them? Damn, bitch, I'm saving them. Yeah, I mean, I got $20 in my pocket. That doesn't mean I need to go to the McDonald's and buy a Big Mac combo, bro. I might be saving them for some Balenciaga or something. Big Mac combo costs 20 bucks in Vancouver, that's for sure. Honestly, I disagree. You know what? I'll even tell you right now. I'm not saying that it's not more expensive than it's ever been. I do get a little bit annoyed sometimes when people are talking about like the price of fast food has risen higher than like regular restaurants. So get your order in right now, okay? Get your guess in, I should say. Big Mac. It's not Canucks game day today because they play on Friday. If I add it to my bag, I can't do it. I'm making a joke. I mean, it's a joke, but it's real. It says I already have an existing order. They're like, you can't add this to your cart. Your cart's already full. And I'm like, what? I'm a little embarrassed. A Big Mac, make it a meal, $12.19. And then you would add a medium-sized Fruitopia strawberry. Total price at checkout, $12.19 plus tip. So usually 40%, that takes it up to about 17 bucks. So they were close. They were not close. They were off by like literally 40%. They said it's 20 bucks. I have to jump this crevice. He dono walled his wife? Did you get a phone call from the plumber? I have a voicemail. Yeah. You know, you don't have to talk to me in Twitch chat because it's hard to parse it. You could just type it in Discord, or you could send me a text. You could come down and talk to me. You could send me a line message. You could send me a text message. Like, you're setting me up for disaster here. In before 5 missed messages. I'm just saying, like, here's what I was told before my wife left the house this morning. She said the plumber might come by between 9 and noon. I said, okay, no problem. I was never told to keep the ringer on the phone. I don't even know how this, I've never seen this guy. Why does he have my phone number? I didn't give it to him. Mike, help! I don't even know. You gave it to him? I gave it to someone over the phone. I didn't give it to this guy. Why are you still typing in Twitch chat? Just if you need me to do something, just put it in a more appropriate medium so I can actually like see the message instead of talking in riddles. Expose him, Kate? There's nothing to expose. It's just like oftentimes I end up like half of like an endeavor gets done and then I inherit it, but I get like a riddle as a clue. Like, instead of, like, here's the step-by-step instructions, it's always like, you may find a wrenched one betwixt the laundry machines later today. And I'm like, okay. And then, like, an hour later, I get a DM that's like, did you respond to the carrier pigeon? And I'm like, I didn't even know that I should be looking out up in the sky for birds. I just want to know if he's still coming. Okay, well, here, let me mute my microphone. I'll go check the, I'll check the voicemail. You know what I realized? I think we as millennials have done a bad job with telephones. In the sense that we think that we have telephone anxiety because of something unique within our generation. But in reality, perfect timing. In reality, I think that I find it unpleasant to talk on the phone because it's the worst way to talk. We're living in a world where you can stream 4K video in real time with like clear Dolby Atmos sound. You call someone on the telephone and it's thanks for calling the richest country on earth, how can I help you? Doesn't make any sense, man. Like, why are the phones still so ass? And then like on the phone, I would say on average I probably clearly hear 3 out of every 4 words. So I'm missing 1 out of every 4 words. In real life, I'm hearing 7 of 8. But then that last one that you don't hear, you get to find in context because you can look at their face, you can look at their lips, and you can figure out like what they were saying. On the phone, you don't have access to that body language. And as a result, it's just fucking confusing, man. I got a video call Papa John's. You don't even have to call Papa John's, bro. You should just be using the app. If you utilize the app, for every $10 you spend, you get 25 Papa Dough. 100 Papa Dough can be redeemed for $10. Shortcut discovered! So 25% off? Now, I probably got the numbers wrong. I bet it's more like 10% off. But still, that's the way that these apps should go, man. I'm taking a hard line in the sand, at least when I have the ability to opt out of something. I will not be downloading an app to use your service unless I require your service to live. But if your app provides me with a convenient way to access your service and gives me an incentive to use it, then I may use your app. It's that simple. I will use the McDonald's app because honestly, I mean, you can call me a shill if you want. I'm just calling it like I see it. The deals go crazy. The cash back is pretty good. Same thing with the Papa John's, you know? If they're giving me money to use the app, sure, I'll download your app. But then, like, you see these pictures of, like, a water fountain, and it's like, scan the QR code to unlock the water fountain. Then it's like, hey, you gotta get the Drizzly app. You don't have the Drizzly app? And I'm like, I'm not downloading this. I'd rather die of thirst, quite frankly. I don't want it. Not to mention, it's so annoying, like, parking in Vancouver. Because, like, you go, if you park on the street, you can use the Pay by Phone app to pay the city directly. And it's like 45 cents for 3 hours of parking. No big deal. But if you go to a private lot, half of them are like, Easy Park, Easy Pay, Parking Pay. And then, like, obviously, some idea guys were like, there's too many parking apps, so people get annoyed. So now every parking garage you go into has like 7 apps. That's like, you could get the one that's directly for this lot, or you could get this one that unifies all of the other ones. But now there's so many like aggregators of parking apps that you need an aggregator for the aggregators. Like I can't get like Car Stop and Parky both have different domains and stuff like that. Like we need to keep going one level deep. It's insanity, bro. I gotta start carrying, like, loose change or something like that. But we can't have parking meters because someone might come over with an aluminum baseball bat and knock them over and take all the quarters out like a piñata at a kid's birthday party.
I thought my beauty worth preserving too.
Instead, we gotta outsource it to some 22-year-old kid with a diploma from BCIT and his 55-year-old venture capitalist uncle to suck all the value out of it and make this shit horrible for everybody. You have to just have a coin, you put the coin in the meter, you're good to go, man. It used to be so easy.
I don't know if you noticed, but your guards are going nuts out
And then you're
there.
like, whoa, bro, it's gonna be so much easier. I don't have to carry change anymore. I can just carry my phone. Right now, instead of parking and pulling like a metal coin out of my pocket, all I have to do is figure out if I have the app. Oh, I don't have the app. You recently got, oh, the parking authority got outbid by Park It. So now I gotta go to the Google store, download Park It on data. It is literally a payment processor. Somehow it's 1.4 gigabytes. So I gotta wait for that shit for 3 minutes when I should have already been inside the venue 3 minutes ago. Then you can't just use it. You have to like make an account for some reason. Choose a profile image. Then you gotta like, oh, verify it with your email. We recommend you turn on 2-factor authentication. Now you can't just like take a picture of your credit card. You gotta add the stuff and then you get the 3 digits on the back and then your entire billing address and then you can pay 75 cents for parking. But don't worry, you won't have to do this every time. So as long as you just go to like 75 ballet performances annually, like it'll be so convenient. Where did we go so wrong, man? And then you're like, hey, why is my phone battery at like 31%? And then you check your like battery monitor and it's like, oh, Park It used 72% of your battery in the last hour. Would you like me to turn it off? And I'm like, yeah, bro, I walked here. Not all the apps are bad. Many of those apps are pissing me off, though. Granddad didn't need an app. Don't puke. Me to my friend when his body is telling him to remove poison from his system. Under no circumstances are you allowed to puke. Well, well, well.
All of our lives are as sand beneath the tide. You'll see one day.
Let me guess, the final boss is a human diver. Obviously, I'm a little biased here. I would say the final boss, it should be a toddler that stole the shell for her shell collection. She didn't realize what it meant to the crab. Could be David Hasselhoff. Could be David Hasselhoff. For now, I'm gonna slash marker. This has been another Crab's Treasure. We did play for like 3 hours. New Souls-like came out today. Check it out. I'm having a good time with it. Call that ACT. After this, I'm going to figure out how to get into Top Spin, bro. Because, like, that coming out at 9 p.m. PT, they might rather that I refund it rather than stick with it and give a Steam review of my opinion on its release schedule. But anyway, I'm not trying to make any enemies of the game devs. Caught. I'll be back in 1 sec. So I want to play Top Spin 2K25. It said it's coming out today. It's not coming out until 9 p.m. Pacific time. Okay, scammers. I see what you're doing. How convenient. They're selling early access for an extra, like, $40 on top of the price of the original game. Okay, no big deal. But I can't just buy the upgrade. I have to purchase the whole thing. I guess I could do a Steam refund. Google. How to Steam refund. Support. You know what pisses me off? I know these are idle complaints. These are boomer complaints. You Google how to do something. The top result was indexed by Google in 2016. In the 8 years since, Steam has updated its layout 23 times, and the top result is no longer relevant to the process that you actually need in order to do the thing. Fuck it, bro. We're not playing Top Spin today. We'll play it tomorrow. I'm playing Balatro today. I wish I could play it today, but honestly, I think they're my 2 cents, they're kind of nickel and diming you. If the game just came out at 9 p.m. Pacific time, I would say, like, okay, that's a bummer, but, like, no big deal. But the fact that it comes out, basically, they said it was coming out April 25th, and then they put it out at 11:59 Eastern time, and are coincidentally also selling early access, makes me, I think they're trying to bend you over. And honestly, virtual tennis fans, we've been bent over enough. It's probably going to be fucked up for like the first 6 months of its release anyway. What's the rush? You had so much cachet with me, Top Spin. I was so happy to have you back. I canceled all the plans to make sure that I could fit you in the second half of the stream. And you what? You threw it away for what, $40? Don't blame Top Spin, blame 2K. They fucking made it, bro. They made it. You ever hear this? The purpose of a system is what it does? Look it up. Might change your thinking patterns. The publisher decides how to sell it, not the devs. The purpose of a system is what it does. They're all compromised as far as I'm concerned. Are you my manager? She just said something similar in my work meeting. You talking about the purpose of a system is what it does? I'm not your manager. I knew your manager. I'm not your manager. I knew you. Go inside the house. Inside you'll find something called a computer. Open it up. Inside you'll find something. It's called electricity. I literally, I'm the caricature of the guy who sees something and is like, oh, I'm just going to repeat that. I saw the Wikipedia article yesterday for the purpose of a system is what it does. It blew my mind, and I said to myself, I'm going to repeat it in all circumstances. Because sometimes, like, something is bad, and then you bring up your complaints about it, and people, like, you know what a perfect example is? Earlier in the stream, we were talking about why does every public bathroom have single-ply toilet paper? Oh, they'd really like, we really wish we could provide you with two-ply, but some so-and-so degenerate might steal it. The purpose of a system is what it does, brother. You put out the crappy toilet paper, and now I'm chafed down below. So I'm gonna make it your problem, dude. Purpose of a system is what it does. We intended to have 3-ply, but we're getting too much breakage. The purpose of a system is what it does. You put the sandpaper in the roll. Explain it to me. And without doing, oh, there's nothing we could do. There's nothing we could do. Librarian hockey arc. Don't encourage him, okay? Like, he's actually, I mean this sincerely. I'm also not saying stop, for the record. But you are contributing to, like, misery in the world. Like, these are deeply unhappy people that you're responding to in a way that you know is designed to make them upset. It's not a noble cause. It's not, like, criminal, but it's... I believe you are making the world a little bit worse. Hey, NL, do you think you would still have hair if porn and the Binding of Isaac were never invented? Other streamers will relate to this, and I know because I've posted comments like this to them in the Discord for us all to laugh at. As a streamer, every once in a while, you get a comment from someone where you just know their spirit is fucking cooked. They're too online. They're trying to relate to you with, like, an inside joke, but it's like 17 levels of, like, degenerate image board deep. And you're just like, you could probably see, like, a little pinpoint of light at the top of the well, but you got a long way to go to make it to heaven, is all I'm going to say. I'm a damn stranger. You ask a stranger that question? That's insanity. I'm not offended. I'm a little offended that you thought it was funny, but that's just more on, like, a comedian to comedian level. It's more just like, how did you get there? How old are you? What was your childhood like? What's your educational experience? What country do you live in? What happened? It's a cautionary tale. NL, you should make channel point rewards to have chat choose what stake or deck you play. There's no disrespect intended. I will never give channel rewards that pass the reins of what we're doing on stream to chat. Because if I had listened to the advice of chat, we'd be out here with 8 viewers in 2024. We'd still be streaming TF2 or something like that. You gotta look to the McDonald's Corporation, okay? If you ask people what do they want to eat for lunch, you ask them at 9:05 a.m., they'd all say acai bowls, garden salads with a light vinaigrette. Lo and behold, 12:30 runs around. Guess what? They're all in line at the hamburger store. That's why they sell hamburgers. Get it twisted. I know what's good for you. I know what you want to see. You're in good hands. You don't know what you want to see. You don't know. You know what you think you want to see. You know what you want other people to think that you want to see, but you don't know. Deep in your brain, the part where the spinal cord connects to your cerebrum, it's easier for me to access that for you than it is for you to access it for yourself. What's the best cereal? All right, guys, everybody relax. I ain't got all the answers, okay? McChicken is the best. Okay, listen, I go to bat for McDonald's, probably to an embarrassing degree. For somebody who cares about, like, also living to at least the average lifespan for a male in North America. But, like, going to McDonald's and getting a McChicken and then, like, that's it, for me, that's a compromise. I think it's okay. Like, if there have been times where, like, you know, I told this story, it must have been like 5-6 years ago now. I went to McDonald's. When they gave me my food at the counter, I could smell the McChicken through the bag, and I did not order a McChicken. What did I do? I grabbed the bags. I got the fuck out of the store. As soon as I was out of eyesight, I opened the bag. I saw an extra McChicken just thrown in the bag. I ate it, and it was the tastiest McChicken I've ever had in my entire life. So if you're going to toss me a McChicken for free, I'm stoked to eat it. It's not like I find it unpleasant to eat. But I'm not going to be going to McDonald's and just getting a McChicken. That's just not going to happen. Dump it. Would you judge someone for eating McDonald's in a foreign country on vacation that's known for good cuisine? No, I would judge them for eating Burger King. But like honestly, for eating McDonald's, it's none of my business what they do when they're on vacation, quite frankly. Why you menu watching? Let's see what Chibli said. I judge them for eating a shit. That's fair. If you were eating like a turd, I would judge you. I did kind of judge Chibli for eating so much Jack in the Box in the US, but mostly because he's supposed to be a vegetarian and he was eating like chicken sandwiches and stuff every day. That's more of like a... And it's just funny. It's just a funny thing. I mean, it's kind of personal for me too, because people ask like why I don't share that much about when I'm on vacation anymore. It's because you guys all got opinions on it. Kate and I went to Japan. We were there for like 2 weeks. We had McDonald's for lunch one day, and I ordered something that was on the Japanese menu. It was like a shrimp burger. I tweeted about it. People are like, brother's in the food capital of the world eating McDonald's. I can't. Listen, brother, I got boots on the fucking ground here in Shinjuku. Your ass is in Ohio. When your ass goes to Japan on your honeymoon, you're going to be out there like eating fucking onigiri from the convenience store every single day going, yum, 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 yum. You can't get this in America. It's not like you're going to the Jiro Dreams of Sushi. You're getting Yoshinoya beef bowls going, ooh, at least it's not McDonald's, you fucking disingenuous hypocrite. Yoshinoya's good though. I mean, it is cheap. You're not wrong. Like, what are we even arguing here? Why are you letting him divide us? Eating a McDonald's sandwich that isn't sold in North America when you're in Japan, not okay. Eating a fucking hamburger, which is sold in America, from a fast food restaurant that America doesn't have, culture. You don't know what the fuck, you're arguing for the sake of arguing, and you entered into the wrong fucking arena. If you want to do that, you should go to the schoolyard and try to get into some discourse with some people that are still in like the 3rd and the 4th fucking grade, because I'm coming packed with nuclear bombs here. Nobody on this planet has argued more vehemently about more useless shit in human history than yours truly. And you want to step in here? If I went to Japan, okay, LARPer, if you went to Japan, you would never go to McDonald's? Who the fuck cares? Nobody cares, man. If I wanted restaurant recommendations in Dayton, I would probably ask Google, but if I knew who you were, which I don't, you would be my number 2, okay? And I mean that in both senses of the word. Why did he get triggered? Only one person asked. +2, +2. Lol, I can't. +2, +2. Put me in the clip. +2. Plus, holy fuck. Sheesh. Peepo with his hand up. That's why. Chatter's delighted watching a public execution. That's the thing, is you should be thankful that I'm in charge instead of chat. Because when we started instituting mob justice, they literally asked for everybody to be banned. Some people would come in and say, like, I'm going through a really hard time right now, but I appreciate your streams as, like, a consistent light in my life. They would get added by, like, 100 people and be like, permaban this dude. He's harshing the vibe. I'm like, you gotta chill. This is like the Ender's Game simulation. Let me get the spaceships, okay? And I think it's training, but then at the end of the day, it's not training because, well, I don't want to spoil the whole book for you, but it's an old book. True, but it checks out at the library, I suppose. No? They probably got Ender's Game at the library. I'd be very surprised if they didn't have Ender's Game at the library. I mean, they got a lot of... Again, nobody knows the library like me these days. I'm going quite frequently. In fact, I was there yesterday. They got, like, you know, needlepoint for cats. Only one copy. They've got to have, like, at least 3 or 4 copies of Ender's Game. That's something people are actually going to search for. My library has 67 copies of Ender's Game, only 2 copies of the movie though. I will say, I'm not knocking the library at all. It's crazy. People don't know that they have movies and video games and stuff like that, but they do. But I always browse through the video game section and it's always pure ass. They need to... They already make you get a university degree to become a librarian. They should at least give one class on like classic video games and like how to spot Drek, or like the final exam could just be like, look this shit up on Metacritic before you buy it, okay? Like they got 75 copies of like, you know, Test Drive Unlimited, the reboot after the franchise was already dead, and you're like, you need a master's to be a librarian? Please don't take this in bad faith. What does a librarian do that required them to be forced to go to school to get a master's degree? I'm not necessarily saying it's an easy job, but I don't, like, what do they need a bachelor's degree and then 2 extra years of specific training on top? I mean, again, I'm not being an ass. Isn't it just like split by genre and then alphabetical order by the last name of the author? You're being an ass? I'm actually not being an ass. I basically asked, what does a librarian do? Like, what do they need a master's degree for? And one person tried to like tell me, but then 1,000 people typed, wow, how could you say that? And I'm like, I know you don't know. You don't have to gaslight other people into thinking I'm anti-librarian. I'm the only motherfucker in here going to the library like 4 times a week. I just literally don't know what they do. What about periodicals? I will admit I don't know how the Dewey Decimal System handles periodicals. You could ask your local librarian. There's like 2 paths for me. One of them is like, you're right, they're never doing anything anyway. The other one is, no, they're too busy. And I don't know which one to say. Oh, man. I feel like you don't fall into being a librarian, though, right? I feel like that's like, you're a true believer. You're like, I wanted to be a librarian since I was like 2 years old. Which is why I'm like, do they really need to make them get a master's degree? Like, if they're a true believer, can't they just straight out of high school be like, I want to be a librarian, and take a 4-year course on how to be a librarian? But why the hell do they need a fine arts degree and then a 2-year specialization on top of it? It just doesn't make sense to me. Wow-wee! Okay. Do you want undereducated librarians? I mean, I'm mostly picking up like Elephant and Piggy books written by Mo Willems for my 3-year-olds, so like, doesn't really bother me too much, I guess. But that's why I'm asking about their duties, so that they can actually like, so I can teach myself something. Plus, we run into this all the time. Whoa! Buy 5 vouchers by the end of Anti-4 achievement. But like I say this about doctors, I'm like, we need more doctors. And people are like, oh, so you want worse doctors? And I'm like, yeah, I guess. Like, the existing ones already seem like inconsistent. How much more could it possibly hurt? At least I could get an appointment. I'm not waging war at all. Honestly, I'm starting to understand the media literacy comments that people so smugly write on Twitter. If asking what you do for work, specifically, is an offensive question, maybe your ass should switch professions. This run's about to be like my sexuality. Speak on that point, Crow. What do you mean by that? Straight? Get him! I'm just joking. We allow that kind of stuff here. Other channels, you have to be a little bit afraid. If you're openly heterosexual, people might say something to you. Around here, we have a very inclusive attitude towards the straights. Welcome in, everybody. So brave. We just like everybody to be like chill. Like, first rule, don't harsh the vibes. Second rule, no racism. Third rule, don't be an asshole. Fourth rule, live and let live, brother. Fifth rule, puff, puff, pass. It's the kind of environment we got over here. We're just chill like that. Like, we're fucking, you come over to our house, you know, what do you want to drink? We got tall cans of Fat Tug in the fridge. We've also got some more, like, starter beers if you're not into it. Like, we might have, like, some Bud Lights. Oh, you're a recovering alcoholic? We got, like, LaCroix. We got LaCroix. We got Coke Zeros. We got fucking, you want some Lay's chips? We got some Lay's chips. We got some Western Family dilly of a chip, dill pickle flavored chips. What do you want, grilled cheese? I'll make you a grilled cheese. We got sliced cheese. We got bread. I'll make you a grilled cheese. Fucking, you want to smoke up? You're going to have to bring your own. We don't really carry that stuff in the house, but as long as you do it outside, I don't really mind too much. I want a super flux. Okay, that'll be $5.75. Like, I'm buying that for me. Okay, I'm buying that for me. If you're a known friend, then you can have the super flux, okay? But otherwise, like, those are some premium beers. That's getting pretty serious. I'll give you a Granville Island Winter Ale or something like that if I don't know you. But a super flux, a tall can of super flux, that's like a $4 to $5.50 beer right there. That's crazy. You gotta earn some like rapport first. You raised your voice. I was just a kid, man. Sorry, I can't be compelled to care about Afghanistan. My father was an alcoholic. My Afghanistan was hearing the key in the door every night. I know what you're referencing. I've seen your true face. In the history of bad tweets, obviously that's one of them. But the worst one, in my opinion, is still the one with the skeletons crawling all over the house on Halloween. And then the person posting like, I get decorations, but imagine if someone just had someone close to them die. How would they feel driving by this house? And you're like, skeletons, man. I don't know. It's like a 15-foot tall skeleton climbing a house. Tommy Need Drinky is also really bad. What is it? Between the Bernie Bros, the Tenant from Hell, this has been a cromulent fuck crustable of a day. Tommy Needy Drinky. Ruth Conda Forever is horrible as well. Yeah, that's a bad one. She pwns my dick and balls. Okay, that's the Kevin Smith one is horrible, but... Oh, man. You know what tweet has had an indelible impact on, in my opinion, culture? Full stop. I think about it all the time. It's the one that is like throwback to the Halloween where I went to my friend's party dressed as the Babadook and they were having more of a grown-ups drinking wine sort of vibe. I think that's actually like, it should be in the Library of Congress. I get that it's easy to look down upon it because it's like a tweet instead of a novel. But I think about that tweet at least once every like 3 months. Whenever I don't fit in at something, I think about that tweet. Because literally, I brought my toddler to a school event that had more of a grown-ups drinking wine vibe. What about the Zach Fox tweet? That's like the picture when a white guy murders his family be like. The one where it's like him and his wife on a jet ski. It's just crazy how much that comes true. Like, that's like satire, but it's also real, man. Miss Vicky's and a San Pellegrino was the rich kid snack at my school. I mean, that is a San Pellegrino for a little kid, like, in school. That is pretty crazy. I don't know if this is real, but I saw a story on Twitter, and I'll give the librarian some help here. But the body of the tweet kind of started with something like, man, rich kids are different. All these kids were talking about, they were in the lunchroom talking about airport lounges at airports around the world. All of a sudden, one kid started crying, and I went over to see what the problem was, and I thought it was that he was like, his family didn't take him on vacations, and it turns out he was crying that he couldn't relate because his family always flew private planes. Look at how he found it and posted the story before I even finished it, man. That's crazy. It's a funny story. That's comedy. It's subverting the expectations. Poor kid, man. Well, the irony is that it is like, you know, you feel bad for the kid because kids just want to, you know, they don't get it. They just want to relate. People really do find ways to be a victim. Bro, you're beefing with like a 9-year-old right now. They just want to have friends. Okay, so I got a dilemma. My wife sent me 2 Instagram reels. Should I watch them on camera here so I can reply? Dada said he wishes he could do his hair too. And this is how I found him with my daughters.
What is happening here? What did you do to Daddy?
This is the new me.
You're fabulous, Dada. You're so beautiful.
Thank you, my favorite daughter.
Dude, I gotta say, that is too real. It is 2 little girls, I'm gonna say age 1.5 and 4. And they are just putting stickers on their dad's bald head while he looks at his phone. I've been there. I've been there for sure. Now I'll craft my message. OMG, the dad with the stickers while he looks at his phone is so me. Okay. Here's some marriage advice for you. Your logo is the most missable on my followed channels. I look through everyone who's live before I notice you are. I get it. You walk into the restaurant, you eat a delicious meal, you pay. In the tip section of the receipt, you write, hey, I don't really like your sign outside. Now, if the owner is serving you, you might catch a little sass, and that's exactly what's happening right here. If I had delegated a little bit, and I had like a server, they would probably be like, thanks, I'll pass it on to the owner. He's right, though. Let me check for a second here. 10,938. Okay. Honestly, we're chilling. It's a good logo. My brain just misses it for some reason. Don't worry about it. 9 to 2. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. I'll be here. You don't even need to check your following list. You could just go twitch.tv/northernlion. Make it your homepage. I'll just say it, by the way. If you're missing my logo, you should follow less popular streamers. That's crazy. What do you mean? I'm saying it auto-sorts by viewers, bro. Who the heck are you following? I mean, we're at like 10,900 right now. That would put me tippy-top of my own following list. It'd probably put me second. Depends if Hassan is live. No, it doesn't. It does for it does for me. It doesn't anymore. It does for me. Thank God I haven't upgraded to the beta patch of Twitch yet. Can a gerbil name 100 women in 6 minutes? You know what? I appreciate that. You're right. Probably not. It was crazy seeing... I'm not saying I had the best name 100 women time, but in that post-mortem of like all the streamers who did it, how on earth, with a 7-minute time, was I 20 minutes ahead of the average? The average. I mean, I get it's a bit of a sus data set. I did not have the most writers. I think I had the most actresses. Like 70% of my list was actresses. Most writers went to slime. Nothing but respect for my president. Pardon me. The tribe is a good pickup here, dude. No streamers either. True. I might be like the only person on the list who did it without naming someone that like they're roommates with. No porn stars either. Excuse me, that's a deprecated term. Now we use adult filmmakers, if I remember correctly. So you don't think they're stars? It's a difference, okay? Don't try to gaslight me. I'm saying it's about the art, not the medium. The medium is the message, and the system's purpose is what it does. By the way, it's way too late in the stream to go off on a rant, okay? I saw it was on Twitter. I saw someone say, it's so nice to go to a game store now and see that there are Pokemon trading card games in stock, i.e., they haven't all been bought by speculators like years ago, and little kids can't play the game anymore. And I was like, I think that's good. That sounds right to me, that it's good that the product is more accessible. And then I did see someone in the comments say, actually long-term, this is a bad thing, because it means that the game has less players. And all I could think of was, and I'm friends with many of these streamers, it's not a criticism, they can do whatever they want with their own money, but all I could think of was them buying, you know, hundreds or thousands of dollars worth of Pokemon cards, opening them on stream, and then shoving the cards into their closet, never to be played with ever again. Is that good for the ecosystem of the game? Well, in like a Grapes of Wrath sort of way, I suppose it is, because it keeps the value of the cards high for the people who already have them. This would be huge. It's fine. You know what? I'm in the business of paying 11 bucks for a pack now. Would love to see a wheel work. That's fine. It's not really even a big deal in the whole scheme of things. Seems unlikely for that to matter. Seems unlikely for that to matter. Seems unlikely for that to matter. 15 bucks in my pocket. Here we go, lads. No clubs. What do you need? One random joker disabled every hand? It's pretty bad, as I'm sure you could probably glean. The steel cards are worth more than what we're losing from the discard. So we need the tarot. The sun card. Are you smoking crack right now? Okay, you want to see some desperation plays? 8s and 7s score better than 6s and 7s. $29,000 points. Could be better. We have to discard. We have to discard one more time. It needed to be a club. We need to keep both steel cards to have a chance. How could you do this to me? How could you do it to me? We didn't get the flush anyway, but how could you do that to me? It's an insult. All right, well, either way, we'll slash marker. Balatro. And I will send you over to my wife's stream. Have a good day. I will be back tomorrow to finally play Topspin Tennis, which comes out 1 nanosecond before midnight tonight. Technically, just so they could have today's release date. See you then.
Little aerial mist for you. Look at this mist. Isn't it neat? Doesn't it make your uninstallation complete? Don't I look like the Pog who has everything? Sorry. What is it called? Javelin tackle. I want to yeet where the streamers are. I want to dolphin dive into tackle. Popping my ult when you do your, what is it called? Atomic punchline. Sorry. So, but I can't stop. I'm not gonna, just because I said sorry doesn't mean I'm gonna stop. Up where they pog, up where they stun, up where they spam mist all day for their fun. Wish I could